Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're doing a deep dive into WeKare disability support services.
Excellent choice.
Now, I know navigating the NDIS world, whether for yourself or someone you love, it can feel, I don't know, a little overwhelming sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lot to take in, that's for sure.
So that's what we're here for, to break it down. And we've got WeKare's website up right now, and the first thing I always gravitate towards, you know me, is the mission statement.
Always a good place to start.
Right, sets the tone. So they say they're all about making sure their clients are excited and engaged, healthy, and confident.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm curious, is that like just good marketing speak, or is there something more to it, do you think?
Well, you do see a lot of NDIS providers focusing on the essential support, which is obviously crucial.
Of course, yeah.
But this feels different.
Yeah.
Like they're aiming for a more holistic approach, putting the emphasis on the individual's well-being, beyond just ticking the boxes.
Okay, so setting a certain kind of standard right from the get-go. But, and I've said it before, there are a ton NDIS providers out there. So in your view, what makes one stand out? Besides the basics, obviously.
Right. Well, beyond the experience, the qualifications, all that good stuff, I'd say a deep understanding of the NDIS system is critical.
Oh, absolutely. Because that thing can be a maze.
Exactly. Being able to navigate that maze effectively to truly benefit their clients. And that's not something every provider excels at, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories.
I'll bet. It can be a real headache trying to figure out the funding, the plans.
Daunting is an understatement sometimes.
And that's where a really good provider can make all the difference.
For sure.
One thing I always tell people, look for providers who specifically mention NDIS plan management or funding assistance on their website.
Ooh, good tip.
Yeah, it suggests they're not shying away from that aspect.
Yeah.
They're prepared to guide their clients through it.
Speaking of navigating that whole NDIS system,
right.
Let's actually look at what WeKare offers service-wise.
Yeah.
Their website, I'll give it to them, it's laid out pretty well, and they've got a lot, I noticed, short-term, medium-term accommodation, supported independent living. That's
good to spread.
That's a whole range, right? It's not just one size fits all.
No, absolutely not. And that's important, right? Because everyone's needs are different. You can't just have a one-size-fits-all approach to disability support. What works for one person might not work for another.
Totally. So someone's just getting back on their feet.
Right.
Maybe they do the short term, but someone who's looking for, okay, how do I live on my own long term?
Some support, yeah.
That's a supported independent living.
Exactly.
But what does that actually look like in practice, I mean? What's the difference?
For short-term accommodation, think of it like someone transitioning out of the hospital maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or they've had an injury, they need a bit of extra help.
Yeah, makes sense.
WeKare might provide a temporary place to stay,
Like a stepping stone.
Exactly. They might help with daily tasks, medication, or even just provide a safe, comfortable environment to recover. Just that peace of mind can make a huge difference.
Huge, yeah. Just knowing you're not alone in that.
Right. And then you've got the supported independent living, which is more about equipping people with the skills, the confidence to really manage their own lives.
To be more independent. Yeah.
As independently as they choose. And that looks different for everyone, of course.
And that's kind of what we were saying, everyone's on their own journey.
It's about giving them the tools, the support to define what independence means for them.
Okay, so that makes me think, because they also have on here TAC case management.
Yes.
Does that mean they're working with, more serious injuries or
Often, yes.
Yeah.
When you see TAC involved, it usually means there's a history of a significant injury, maybe a car accident, something like that. It adds a whole other layer to their expertise.
Because it's not just about the disability itself. It's about,
the trauma, the recovery, the whole picture.
Rebuilding your life almost.
Exactly.
Wow, okay. So they've really got this whole spectrum covered.
They do, which is impressive.
It really is. It makes you think, with all these different services, plus that whole excited and engaged thing from before.
Yeah.
What are they actually trying to be as an organization,
It's a really good question, and I think it speaks to a kind of ethos,
Yeah.
What are the values driving all of this?
Well, speaking of values, there's a whole section on their site about that. Honesty, specialized knowledge, competency. They've put it in bold.
They want you to see that, for sure. But, as we've said, anyone can put fancy words on a website.
It's true.
So the question is, how do those values actually play out in real life?
Yeah, good point.
How does WeKare demonstrate those values to their clients day in and day out? That's what matters.
And they do go a bit deeper, which I like.
Yeah.
With specialized knowledge, they actually say it's not enough to just, know the stuff.
Right.
They're big on continuous learning. Their team does professional development and all that. What do you make of that?
It's huge, honestly.
Yeah.
This field, it's always changing. New therapies, new technologies. Heck, even our understanding of what disability is always evolving.
That's true. Yeah.
So for someone who needs support, knowing their provider is, like, on top of it.
Keeping up with the times.
Exactly. That's got to be reassuring. Think about it. You wouldn't want a doctor who's still using textbooks from the 80s, right?
No way.
You want someone who's up to date, using the latest research, the best practices.
Makes sense. And it all ties back to trust, doesn't it?
100%.
Which, speaking of, they define honesty as keeping our word and managing expectations. Maybe sounds simple,
Yeah.
but when you're relying on someone, that clear communication, so important.
Essential. Especially in this kind of setting. You're dealing with sensitive stuff, personal care.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've done their mission, the services, the values. Anything else catch your eye on their site that really made them stand out?
Couple things, actually. First one, their locations. They're not
Yeah.
just metro, they're regional too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they had that reach.
It's big because not everyone's in the city, right? People in more remote areas, they deserve quality support too.
100%.
And it's not always easy to find. So the fact that WeKare is making that effort says a lot about their commitment to, reaching everyone who needs them.
Yeah, for sure. And I like this small thing, but under their useful links,
Yeah.
they link straight to the NDIS website.
Good guy.
It's like a little thing.
It's the little things,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It shows they're not afraid of transparency. They're not trying to keep people in the dark about their rights, how it all works.
Empowering them. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, hey, we're here to help, but you've got the power too. You can understand this. You can advocate for yourself.
I love that. Okay, last one.
Last but not least, right?
Yes. Their statements, the acknowledgement of country, the LGBTQIA support,
Could miss those, could you? Front and center on their page.
alongside the values even. It's not just an afterthought.
Exactly. And that's key. It's integrated into who they are. And for people from those communities, that can be so, so important.
It's about feeling seen.
More than seen, feeling understood, respected. Like you're not just another client, you're you.
You belong.
Exactly.
Wow, okay. I think we went deep today.
We did, we really did. But hey, that's what this is all about, right? Getting below the surface.
And with WeKare, it seems like there's a lot below the surface.
Absolutely. But hey, as always, remember, choosing a support provider, it's personal. What works for one person might not work for another.
So true.
So as you're listening to this, thinking about WeKare, ask yourself, what resonates with you? What questions would you ask them based on your own needs, your own goals? That's a big decision, finding that right fit for your journey.
It really is. So, listeners, take your time, do your research, and most importantly, trust your gut.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for diving in with us today, everyone. We'll see you next time as we explore another fascinating corner of this world.